These 10 players may be great at what they do, but you're not really gonna see them in any tournaments. My name is Braden, and welcome to Valve Guides. The CSGO scene is full of some crazy talent. Some talent that you may not even get to see often just because that's not what's going to be shown on the major streaming services. On surface level, when you're into the CSGO pro scene, you might just see around 10 different teams that cycle between winning and losing. But it would be foolish to assume that all of the talent is on these major teams that are always winning these majors and these tournaments. Today, we're going to be going over 10 CSGO players that are really good that are on bad teams. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10 is Freakazoid. Freakazoid played for arguably the best North American team in the world, Cloud9, from 2015 through mid-2016, although Freakazoid now currently plays for Team S1mple Patrol. I know it's kind of cheesy, but you know, you can't judge. A North American team competing in lower leagues and tournaments, for example, ESEA Mountain Dew League, and a lot of open and closed qualifiers for big events, occasionally qualifying for the main event. Freakazoid is an exceptional rifler and just recently came back into the pro scene, joining S1mple Patrol. After proving himself, he will most definitely find himself a spot on a top tier team, but for now, S1mple Patrol. I also want to clarify that this isn't to knock these teams for being bad and not qualifying for main events constantly. The title is more or less to get people to click on the video, but everybody starts somewhere, and depending on where these other players and these coaches and these teams go, they can be good. It's just a matter of they're not qualifying for the main events very often right now. Number 9 is Config. Config is one of the greatest Danish riflers in CSGO's history. With that being said, Config has played for many top tier teams throughout his career, such as SK Gaming, Copenhagen Wolves, Team Dignitas, Team North, and Optic Gaming. Config recently joined Team Optic. Unfortunately, the team didn't pan out how everybody expected, and the team is in a real slump right now. Some people predict the team to come out of this slump, others do not. Again, it's just a matter of how these players will come out of this trial. Config himself has proven time and time again what a player he is, but let's see if he can take this team from where it is currently. Number 8 is Aloo. Aloo is a very experienced offer within the CSGO scene and has played on many teams such as Mouse Esports, 3D Max, Ninjas in Pajamas, Team Liquid, although as a trial, FaZe Clan, and Optic Gaming. Aloo currently plays for ENCE Esports, arguably the worst team that he has ever played for, and they're failing to get good results. They don't seem to have a good foothold of where they are currently. Everybody is questioning why he's still on the team. Hopefully there's a reason that we just don't know yet, and hopefully things can improve and Aloo can either prove himself on the team that he's on or find a different team if need be. Number 7 is Brollan. Brollan is an up-and-coming pro CS player that currently plays for Red Reserve. He's only 16 years old and he hasn't played for many teams because he mainly got noticed through pugging on platforms like Faceit and ESEA. However, the teams he has played for are Passions, Godsend, and now Red Reserve. Red Reserve isn't necessarily a bad team, but Brollan deserves better. He's incredibly consistent and has proven that he doesn't underperform under pressure, whether that be at LAN or very important online matches. Brollan doesn't find a different team. He will stay on Red Reserve and grind his way up with the team, but a lot of people think that he deserves better than Red Reserve. We'll see if he can lead the team to a higher level or if he just needs to find a new one altogether. Number 6 is Nifty. Nifty is a great in-game leader or opper playing for Team Renegades. Nifty has played for a few teams, but is generally new to the CSGO scene. He has played for teams such as Astral Authority, Selfless Gaming, and Renegades. Nifty plays a really hard role. He ops and leads in game at the same time, which is incredibly difficult. Nifty is extremely consistent though, and he plays incredibly well at LAN events and online. A lot of people want him to be picked up by a better team and think that he deserves it because Team Renegades have been struggling recently and people don't know if they can pull out of the slump they're in. And if they don't, Nifty will surely get snatched up, so Nifty fans don't have to worry too much. Number 5. Phelps. Phelps is a great rifler from Brazil and he has played for great teams, especially SK Gaming. Phelps didn't make his way through the CSGO scene easily, and he had to grind his way up through many Brazilian teams before reaching his peak at SK. He played for Cade Stars, Generation X, Games Academy, Tempo Storm, Immortals, SK Gaming, and finally NTC. SK dropped him from their active roster in late 2017, and then they picked up Bolts after him as they were slumping, so they needed a change. A lot of people didn't really agree with the change, but they were sure that Phelps would find a team soon after, as he is a great player. Sooner or later, Phelps found his way onto NTC, and they have gone through a lot of roster changes, and Phelps has found himself on the roster. They've been somewhat underwhelming considering a lot of people put them in the top 10 or even top 5 team worldwide. Hopefully they can pick themselves up in future events. Number 4 is Bente. Bente was a pretty unknown player at the end of 2017, but he has recently come into the spotlight with his talent and endgame leading skills. Bente leads in 3 different languages to his players, and this has made him very popular in the community for his hard work and dedication to the team. Also, with the burden of being an endgame leader and speaking multiple languages, Bente is also a consistent and heavy fragger and would be a good asset for any team to pick him up. Bente has a lot of potential and is one of the best players to come out of the Asian scene, and even one of the best overall that we've seen recently. Number 3, Scream. Scream needs no introduction. The headshot machine himself, who is currently playing Orgless or left out with the ex-Envious roster, has been stable in the CSGO scene for his ability to one-tap and headshot people like it's nothing. Scream has always been in and around the French scene and has always been involved in multiple French shuffles. He's a very consistent and flashy player at the same time and has a potential to be a world beater. If Scream was to get a top team opportunity, he would thrive, and he's already considered one of the greats, but he would set a new bar for himself. Number 2 is Zywoo. That rhymed. Zywoo is a very young and clearly talented individual player, and with him only being 17, he could go on to be one of the game's greats. Zywoo is currently playing for a team called A uppercase A lowercase A. And they're a French team who seem to be on the rise. With Zywoo being so young, it comes with its downfalls. He got an offer from the French giants Envious, but he had to decline due to still being in school and wanting to finish his education. Zywoo is a young talent and is waiting to turn 18 so that he can make some big moves and move on to higher tier teams. Number 1, S1mple. S1mple has been one of the best, if not the best player in the world for a while now, and he has a world-class level of performance on a consistent basis, and he will go down in history doing so. S1mple had humble beginnings, making his break onto the scene with Hellraisers. Blade was one of the first people to give S1mple his chance on a big team, as he was known for being an onliner, and this chance proved to work out as S1mple turned into the star player that he is now, with ever-rising talent. After his skill level considerably improving, he caught the attention of Team Liquid and had some iconic moments during his reign in the NA team. However, he now plays for Na'Vi, who are really struggling pretty badly, but S1mple nonetheless is still shining and carrying the team with his consistent plays and is clearly superior to most of the people around him. S1mple's just on some next level crap, and there's not too much to say about it other than he's excellent. A lot of people chase for excellence, and S1mple has achieved it. That does it for today's video, guys. Thank you for sticking around until the end if you're here. Thank you for, again, being patient with me as these long breaks in between videos are occurring. It's quite a bit frustrating, and it's good to know that some people do care that I upload these videos, and I appreciate that. That being said, stay amazing, and I will see you in the next video.